The Great Hall of the Galactic Council stretched for miles in every direction. Floating platforms carried delegates from 700 different species. Crystal chandeliers the size of small moons hung from the ceiling. The walls showed live feeds from 1,000 worlds. This was the center of galactic civilization. This was where the powerful made decisions that shaped the lives of trillions. For 12,000 years, this council had ruled the galaxy with absolute authority. No species had ever questioned their power. No world had ever refused their commands. Until today. Ambassador Sarah stood at the human delegation's platform. She was a small woman with gray hair and calm eyes. Behind her sat the other human representatives. They wore simple dark suits. They carried no weapons. They had no warships waiting outside. The Galactic Council had not allowed humans to build a proper fleet. Humanity had only been part of the Council for 50 years. They were still considered newcomers. They were still considered weak. High Chancellor of the Empire raised his 4 arms for silence. His scales gleamed purple under the lights. He was the most powerful being in known space. His empire controlled 40% of all council worlds. When he spoke, everyone listened. When he commanded, everyone obeyed. The council has reached a decision regarding the human colony on 7, announced. His voice echoed through translator devices across the hall. The collective has claimed mining rights to that system. Humans will evacuate within 1 standard cycle. All human structures will be demolished. All human resources will be transferred to control. This is the will of the council. Sarah did not react. She had expected this. They were allied with they had wanted 7 for years. The planet sat on top of the richest mineral deposits in 3 sectors. Humans had found it first. Humans had built cities there. 3 million human colonists called it home. None of that mattered to the council. Ambassador continued, "Do the humans accept this ruling?" Sarah looked at the High Chancellor. She looked at the hundreds of alien faces watching her. Some showed curiosity. Some showed boredom. Most showed nothing at all. Humans were not important enough to notice. Humans were just another minor species following orders. "No," Sarah said simply. The word hung in the air. Silence spread across the great hall like a wave. Delegates stopped their private conversations. Advisors froze mid-sentence. Even the automated system seemed to pause. The translator devices asked for confirmation. Surely they had made an error. No one said no to the Galactic Council. Leaned forward on his throne, his eyes narrowed to slits. "Perhaps the translation was incorrect. Repeat your answer." "The translation was correct," Sarah replied. Her voice remained steady. "Humanity rejects the Council's ruling. We will not evacuate 7. We will not surrender our colony. We will not follow this order." The hall erupted. Delegates shouted in 100 languages. Some demanded punishment. Some called for war. The ambassador slammed his tentacles against his platform in rage. The delegation laughed as if watching a comedy performance. The representatives whispered urgently among themselves. Raised his arms again. The noise died slowly. "Ambassador, you understand the consequences of defying the council. Your species has no fleet. Your worlds have no defenses. We could reduce Earth to ash within hours. Choose your next words carefully." Sarah nodded slowly. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small device. She pressed a button. Behind her, the human delegation stood as one. "Humanity has considered its options," Sarah said. "We have debated this moment for years. We have watched how this council operates. We have seen how you treat smaller species. We have learned what kind of future awaits us if we remain here." She paused and looked around the hall one more time. "Therefore, effective immediately, humanity withdraws from the Galactic Council. We renounce all treaties signed under Council authority. We reject all territorial claims made against human worlds. We close our borders to Council species until further notice." Sarah placed the device on her platform. A holographic document appeared above it, the official withdrawal notice. signed by every human government, witnessed by every human colony. "We are leaving," Sarah said. "Do not follow us." The human delegation walked off their platform. They moved toward the exit in perfect formation. Their footsteps echoed in the sudden silence. No one tried to stop them. No one could quite believe what was happening. Then the chaos truly began. High Chancellor was screaming orders before the humans reached the door. He demanded the immediate seizure of all human vessels in Council space. He ordered battle fleets to converge on Earth. He declared humanity an enemy of galactic civilization. His commands crackled through military channels across 1,000 systems. But the responses that came back made no sense. Admiral of the Third Fleet reported that his ships could not move. Their navigation systems had failed, all of them, simultaneously. The same report came from the Fourth Fleet, the Fifth Fleet. Every warship in 3 sectors had suddenly gone blind. The military command reported similar problems. Their weapons systems had locked themselves. Their targeting computers showed only error messages. Their communication arrays could barely function. Across the galaxy, the great war machines of the Council powers sputtered and failed. Ships drifted helplessly. Stations lost power. Defense networks went dark. In the span of 1 hour, the most powerful military force in history became completely useless. Back in the Council hall, panic had replaced anger. Delegates were fleeing to their ships. Some found their vessels operational. Others found only cold metal and dead screens. The ambassador discovered that his personal yacht had been drained of fuel. The military found his shuttle's engines had been removed entirely. Stood at his throne, surrounded by advisors who had no advice to give. His communicator buzzed with desperate reports. His empire was paralyzed. His fleet was crippled, and the humans were already gone. The galaxy learned several truths that day. They learned that humans had not been idle during their 50 years in Council space. While appearing weak and compliant, humanity had been watching, studying, learning every secret the Council tried to hide. Human engineers had mapped every military network. Human scientists had cracked every encryption code. Human agents had placed hidden programs in every critical system. They learned that human technology was not primitive. It was simply different. Humans had focused on information warfare while other species built bigger guns. Humans had mastered the digital realm while others conquered physical territory. A single human virus could do more damage than 1,000 warships. They learned that humans had been preparing for this moment since the day they joined the Council. Every treaty signing had been an opportunity to plant sleeper codes. Every diplomatic visit had been an intelligence operation. Every cultural exchange had been a chance to map enemy weaknesses. Most importantly, they learned that humans had friends. In the weeks that followed the withdrawal, other species began to move. The long oppressed by expansion suddenly found their own military systems working perfectly. The Whos had been strip-mined by the discovered new weapons in their arsenals they had never seen before. The Who had been forced to pay tribute for centuries found their debt records mysteriously erased. Humanity had not just prepared to leave. Humanity had prepared to change everything. The Galactic Council called emergency sessions that no one attended. They issued demands that no one followed. They threatened war against enemies who could no longer be found. Human space had vanished from their star maps. Human communications had gone silent. Human worlds had simply disappeared from all sensors. Some said humans had developed faster-than-light travel far beyond Council technology. Others claimed humans had found portals to another dimension. A few whispered that humans had ascended to a higher form of existence entirely. The truth was simpler and more terrifying. Humans had built a new network, a shadow civilization hidden within the old one. Their ships moved through routes no one else could detect. Their worlds existed in spaces no one else could find. They had created a parallel galaxy right under the Council's nose. And they were not alone there. The oppressed species of Council space began to disappear. The went first. One by one, the victims of galactic imperialism slipped away to join humanity's hidden realm. The Council's workforce evaporated. The Council's tribute dried up. The Council's economy collapsed within a decade. High Chancellor died cursing humanity's name. His successor lasted 3 years before revolution consumed the collective fractured into 100 warring factions. They retreated to their core systems and sealed their borders in fear. The Great Galactic Council, which had ruled for 12,000 years, fell apart in less than 20. Sarah watched it all from humanity's new capital. The city floated in a space between spaces, invisible to all who had not been invited. She was old now. Her hair had gone completely white, but her eyes still held that same calm strength. A young officer approached her with a report. The last council species had finally collapsed. The old order was completely finished. The galaxy lay open, waiting for whatever came next. "What do we do now, Ambassador?" the officer asked. Sarah smiled. She looked out the window at the impossible stars of their hidden dimension. Somewhere out there, billions of beings who had never known freedom were learning to live without masters. Somewhere out there, a new civilization was being born. "Now," Sarah said, "we build something better." She turned away from the window and walked toward the conference room. Representatives from 40 species waited there. Former slaves and conquered peoples, refugees and survivors. All of them had one thing in common. All of them had chosen to follow humanity into the unknown. The door closed behind her. The old galaxy continued to burn in its wars and chaos. But in the hidden realm, in the space between spaces, a new future was being written. Humanity had walked away from the Galactic Council, and they had taken the galaxy's hope with them.